So we've taken care of the top left quadrant, and now let's take a look at the second quadrant, right? The quadrant that's above the summary. How can we check if the BOM, which is right here, the BOM X, BOM Y, is directly above the sub? Right? Well, the Y position is not that big of a deal because how is the Y of the BOM compared to the Y of the sub, which represents the top of the sub? Right. Well, since the top of the world is 0 and the bottom of the world is 300, the BOM is going to be less than the sub X, sub Y. The BOM Y is going to be less than the sub Y. But the X is a little bit more of a problem, right? How do you check if the BOM's X is between the left side of the sub and the right side of the sub? So this is going to take us back to elementary school. We have this number line here, right? How do we create a set of inequalities that are going to be true if the numbers are between -1 and +2? Well, it goes like this, right? We have a filled in circle here with an arrow going that way, and then we have a filled in circle here with an arrow going that way. Right? So both of these inequalities, namely x is greater than or equal to -1 and x is less than or equal to 2, both of these inequalities, if they're true, means that x is a number between -1 and +2 inclusive. Right? And so that's what we're going to be using here in order to check if the BOM's X is between the left side of the sub and the right side of the sub. So let's go ahead and try that here. Right? So we're going to do an else if, of course. We're going to do another check. And what are we going to check here? We're going to check if BOM X is greater than or equal to the left side of the sub, and the left side of the sub is sub X. And then we're going to check if the BOM's X is less than or equal to the right side of the sub. Now, how do we specify the right side of the sub? Well, the right side of the sub is going to be relative to the left side of the sub, right? So let's say the left side of the sub is at 50. We have it right here, right? The sub X is 50. Then we need to use the sub's width, right? Let's say the sub's width is equal to 30. If the sub's width is equal to 30, that means the right side of the sub is at 80, right? Namely, sub x plus sub width. Are we okay with that? All right, so let's come back to our code then, and let's say the BOM's x is less than or equal to the sub's x plus the sub's width, like so. So if both of these Boolean expressions are true, then we know that the BOM is between the left side of the sub and the right side of the sub. Definitely, for sure. And so lastly, all we need to check is the BOM y, right? So BOM y is less than or equal to the subs y. And so if all three of these Boolean expressions are true, then we know the BOM is directly above the sub. So if the BOM is directly above the sub, like this, then we need to distance formula or find the distance between the BOM and this closest point on the sub. And where is that closest point on the sub? Right? What's the x and what's the y? Well, the y is going to be the top of the sub, right? And we know where the top of the sub is. It's sub y. And then the x is going to be this location here. And notice here that the x is the BOM's x, right? They share the same x position. So this point here is going to be BOM x, comma, sub y. And that's what we're going to use, right? So we're going to distance formula to BOM x, comma, sub y.